The leader has not yet arrived. Please continue to hold for the call to begin. You will now be placed into conference. To mute your line, press *6. To unmute, press #6.
Start the good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. So this is the webcast series on the cloud service management. So this is the 6th in the series. So today we would be covering the service view, service definition, and the enhancements which we have done for the advanced reporting. So we will go deep dive on each of this and then show demo and also walk through the module of each of this in the presentation. Let me introduce myself. My name is Prasanna. I'm part of the service management, product management team for cloud. So I handle a certain CMDB as a core, but also handle this core service project management in that. Today we would be covering the advanced reporting and service view and service definition. So advanced reporting would be covered by Sharath. He would be the other product manager in the team. So today we would start with the agenda of community updates. So you can provide the links, so you can show the links of the community where you can see the latest updates and also a lot of information related to this webcast series and other stuff. You would be able to see them and then use them there. So we would be covering service definition and service view overview, and also we will be having a demonstration, advanced reporting overview we would be providing, and also the demonstration of the advanced reporting, and then finally summary and questions. We will wind up after that. So to start with community updates, so you can see all the community related to information to cloud service management in the following URL. So all webcasts which are we conducted in the part 6th series or 5 series, you would see all of them. Apart from that, the older links or older webcasts which we had provided earlier would also be in this community web page there. So we also added the production monitoring pages, so you would be able to see the current usage, current information on the production sites. So we also have started the series of information like 101 series, 201 series, like sort of a training material for advanced reporting. So those documents, you would see them there. And also we would find some usability research studies which we just undergone, and those information related to that you would be able to see them in the community updates. So please feel free to connect to these communities and then give your inputs to us so we can be better off in the next coming releases. So to start with today's agenda, so what is service definition? So we would be covering what is business use case around, how do you create service definition, those things, and then we'll talk about what is service view, and then demo of that, advanced reporting enhancements, and then feature walkthrough demo of that. And so what we did, like today most IT departments are ticket centric. So and almost all the metrics are revolving around tickets. For example, any metric if you see, you would see ticket volume, backlog, aging, and then escalated SLA, those things, information around that. So business analysts need to take this data and then slice and dice on that to provide a meaningful report to the business. So just to have that information, how my each service is doing. So we have started working on that and then started creating a service view. Service view would provide you the health of the information and then how my service is doing, what is the adoption of my service, how good is the adoption rate for the service, where do we stand from the service level standpoint, how my service is doing, whether it's response time for this particular tickets created for this service is good, or how are my resolution time for a particular service. Is it taking long time to resolve this new service which has been adapted in the environment? So in case if you find certain issues, so it might be helpful for us to get that information, and you would be able to put more training or emphasis on L1 or L2 specific people around that, or create the SMEs for those areas to solve the tickets which have this specific information faster. So this service view would provide you that information. So how do you get to create a service view? So you need to create a service first, you need to create a service definition, and then associate the catalog items to the service definition. So that's how you would create a simple service definition. So service definition is simply the CI in the existing world. So we had service type CIs, which is like class, we have an option. So with that class, whatever the CIs you create with that class would be considered as a service CI. So for that service, earlier we didn't have any specific catalog association to that service or subscribed organization support to that service. So now what we have done in Bamboo release is like you have a service now. Take an example of an email service. So you have an email service, and then you might have catalog items which provides this one to the service. Like catalog items can be requesting for a email provisioning new account. You might be requesting for additional hardware or additional mailbox support or anything related to the mail in this one. And then third thing you would require is to report an outage on that email. So these three are different catalog items. So one is probably service request for creating a request. Second thing, also creating a request for additional requirements. That is also a service request. Third thing is an incident, which you need to probably cater in a different way. So what we need to do is like assign these catalog items to that service, so that any tickets created around these catalog items would show up in my service. So where I can see that service, how my service is performing, and then have a health check of that particular service is what we want to bring the value to the service definition, service view to the organization. So to start with the simple use case, we will take service owner needs to create a service for email provisioning. So we would probably see how we will create a new service to the environment, and then see how we can associate the catalog items to that, and then get more information around that. Let me share my screen so that you would be able to see how do I create a new service. let me know if you are able to see my screen. So all the lines are muted. You can unmute yourself by #6 or #6 so that I can be able to listen. Okay, so let me go to quickly the service view and then show you how to create a new service. So here is the new service page. We can go and create a new service from here. I'm just going to create a new service here. So I'm going to name this service as email provisioning, and then this service is used for all email related requests and issues. So how do I classify it? I'll probably classify it with the service and then select an organization. Just going to select an organization, which is probably the Inc. or something. Who owns it? I'll just put it as like admin, currently the who owns this. So this is how I just create a service. So I just created a service. Now I need to define what are the catalog items associated to that service. So I have an option here to create a new catalog item, or I can go and search here and then associate them. Let me search a list of items. So here I searched on email. So these three got listed, request new account. So I would associate them, and again I would go and select this one. So I would go and update email account, and then again if I go and type in email, I would put report and email issues. So if you see here, these are the three catalog items I've already created in my environment, or I can go and create it in this one. So report and email issues, update email catalog items, and then request new catalog item. So that's how you would start associating the catalog items to the service. So now after that, you need to subscribe the particular service to organization. Earlier we had the limitation of a service or a CI which can be associated to only one organization, which is the owner organization. Now we have an option for a service, for example, email as a service, as a managed service provider is hosting this service and providing the service to various customers. So you would need to make those other organizations as subscribed to this service so that they will be able to see, create tickets, see the catalog items, and then associate their tickets to them. So for just time being, you would see list of all the ones. So I can probably put Acme Inc. as one of the organization which is subscribed to, and then save exit to details. So that's how I create a service and then associate that particular service to various catalog items. So you would see this is the detailed page for that particular service. This is similar to what you have seen earlier with the configuration item page, where we have added service catalog, subscribed organization as two new fields or entries or tags for that particular CI. And also you would see the metrics which we have captured also available in the service view as in the CI detail page. This would be available only for object as service. So if you see a service related service type of a CI, you would see these details in the detail page. So this provides me clear information of how many tickets created for this service, how many unique requesters are there for this service, how my response target is achieved for this service, are there any service or change service requests or change requests for this service, how am I doing the resolution from open to close. This is absolute time not related to the SLA, but it would give me a particular information like how a ticket got open to close, how am I doing on each of these tickets which are created for this particular service. And also would be able to see open critical incidents, or are there any high critical priority items or incidents or problems for this particular service. So I would be able to see it in the detailed page 2 there. So I'm just switching it back to the presentation. So here what I did was, and I just created an email provisioning as a service, and then related the email provisioning related catalog items, the 3 catalog items which we created. And then those 3 catalog items are already having association to the process flow. So we can start working on the service related requests. So that's how it's pretty simple, straightforward, should start using the particular this one. So now these new workspaces which we have created, the service catalog configuration, service level targets where we can go and create new definitions, all those things. Who would have the access for this? And then earlier, almost all these functionalities which were related to creating a catalog item or creating a service level targets were restricted to only the admin group or administration group. So only admin people or admin members were able to do this activity. Now with this approach, what we are also adding is a new role called service owner. So this service owner will be almost similar to the admin, where only for doing these actions, you would be able to create catalog configuration using this new service creation. From there you will be able to create catalog item. From catalog item, you would be able to create new SLA item. So that's a chain of actions which are possible for a service owner role member to have these options available for him. It's not restricted only for admin. So it's again an advantage. You can specify some of the users in the organization or service owners in the organization with this role so that they would be able to create and manage their own service. Any questions? You can also ask me questions or type in the Q&A section. Any questions? We have other product management team people members would be answering those. In case of any questions, you can put in Q&A and also ask me straightforward. So any questions now? So I would be moving to the service view part of it. So what we discussed now was mainly the service definition. How do I create my service? How do I associate my service to templates, the catalog items, and then have them available. So now we just talk about the service view. So what is the service view? Service view allows service owners to view the health of the services. So it provides me how my adoption of a new service is or existing service is, and then are there any critical incidents for a particular service is, and then are there any alarming critical tickets for that service, how my adoption rate, what is the usage for that particular service, that means the unique requesters or number of tickets like requesting for that service. So those things provide the information of like how the adoption of the service in the organization. So we have 3 sections in the service view. One is the key services where we provide the warning and normal metrics, and below that section we have highest trending services by incidents. So where the first section, key services section, provides you the information of the incidents, how related to incidents also there, but highest trending service by incidents would provide you a different metric of how many services. It's not dependent on just the count, it depends on the variation. Like for example, last month for a particular service there were 20 tickets, and suddenly there are 40 tickets in the new month. So the difference of that is 20, which is higher in the number. That would show up in the top for my highest trending services by incidents that way. So that way you would be able to see the how the adoption, or there are issues recently for a particular service. So it would gather that information and provide you in the service view workspace. And also active services. So active services just gives you a count of number of services which are there in the organization, which provides you what are the active services available. You can click on that, and then that would show up the list view of the complete list of active services along with these 6 metrics which were there for that particular service. So we also have recent service updates. So recent service updates provides the information of how each service is doing. Like example, in case if I have a ticket, newly somebody worked on that ticket or newly created ticket for a particular service, that shows up in the live active services view there. So we also have filters which are applied on key services and then highest trending services we have 4 options, 90 days, 30 days, last 7 days, and last by month options over there. So let me show you the landing screen for that particular service, how it would look. So these were the information which we had mentioned. So this is the key services section, which would provide me the 6 top performing metrics. Again, if it is warning, it would give me the top warning metrics, and then if it is the normal one, it shows me the normal. So here is the active services section where it provides me the which are active services in this one. So here it provides me the highest trending service by incidents. So here plus shows me, so last time probably in that last month there were no unique requesters for that particular service. So now it's like added by 1, so 1 request is there. So it's like added by 1, so it shows me with plus. So whereas if you see in the incidents, it shows me plus 12. That means last month for this particular VMware service there were 48 incidents, but this time it's like 12 added, so it's 60 incidents which are there for that particular service. So that way to gather your information, gather your eye on that, to work on that warning. It's like interaction, probably it will be easier for you to provide more information on that. So in the recent service update section, it's like the live updates. Whenever a new ticket created associating any of these services or any of those 14 services, it could show up in this particular list based on the information last updated, the last modified date. So that's about the service view landing page. So now what we have is again I'm probably reiterating the same predefined OOTB service metrics, so which shows the information, highest, lowest number of incidents. The first block would show me the highest number or the lowest number of incidents or problems depending on the type of metric you are in. In case if you are in the warning metrics, it shows up the highest number of incidents. In case if you are in the normal metrics, it shows me the other side of that, showing me the lowest number of incidents for that particular service. So, and then the second block is the lowest response SLA target, so which shows me how good I am performing related to the response target, meeting the response target of the SLA for this particular service. So here lowest, like, okay, I'm not meeting 100%, so this might be, I'm just meeting the 80% of the response target. So that's the reason it's showing me in the warning metric. So it should be higher in the range to show up in the normal metric. So whereas if I toggle this to normal metrics, you would see probably 100% response target met. Those services would get shown up in that particular tile. So and then the second lane, it shows me the unique requesters. It shows me the highest and lowest number of unique requesters. In case of warning, it shows me lowest number. In case of my normal, it shows me highest. So this provides information related to the adoption of this particular service in the organization. If many more requests are coming in for a particular service, for requesting for a new account or requesting for new additional stuff there, so that means my service is performing well. So that's the reason. If it is higher the number, we consider that as it's in the normal. In case if the lower the number, that means the adoption is going down, or people are not using this particular service. That's an alarming or a warning metric. So that shows up in this particular tile there. Then next tile would be the highest resolution time. So we need to we consider that as the absolute time from the open to resolve time for the service. For example, in case if there are 30 tickets created for a particular service and each of them took various time, so we average those time to provide the MTTR, mean time to resolve 30 tickets. Probably it could have taken 30 hours MTTR, mean time to resolve these particular tickets created in that month. So that way it will show me the highest resolution time here. So actual normal metric should be lower the number of resolution time, so you are performing really better, because whatever the time for closing or resolving an incident for that particular service is less, so your performance is good for that particular service. So in the last row we have two tiles. One represents the number of change service requests. So lower the number of change requests or service requests, again it boils down to the unique requester. So you're not performing well, so you would need the adoption to be higher. So if the higher the number, it would move to the normal metric range there. So on the critical one, highest number of critical incidents, that means you're not performing well. You need to have lower the number of critical incidents or zero critical incidents for a particular service. That would show up in the normal metric over there. So currently we have only these 6 items or 6 metrics in the current release, which is out of the box. Currently we don't have an option to either add new metric or modify existing metric. So we would be coming up with the customization of these metrics and then adding them to the metric, this one, but that would be in the future release of the product. At present, we have this 6 out of the box metric, which toggles between the normal and warning, 2 different types of there. So any questions till now? So this is again in detail about each of this metric. Probably I can skip this detailed list, and then probably we can just go to the system and then see how these things are shown here. I'm just shifting to the screen here. So this is the service view screen. Let me know if you are not able to see the screen. Okay, give me a minute there. Okay, so these are the metrics which we are talking about. The warning metrics shows me the highest number of metrics, and then the lowest response target, lowest number of requesters, highest resolution time of each of them. So, and also we have a filter provides the time period. We can search on organization in case if you want to search service provided for an organization, you want to see or a specific service owner, how each of these services which are owned by a particular person is performing. We can filter them and show that list, and also we can filter by time period last 7 days, last 30 days, last 90 days, or last month. Last month would be like last 30 days is like relative in case if you are on the 17th June, my last month shows me the record for the last period would be till 16th of May, and then previous period would be 15th of April to 16th of May. So that way it will be count on the relative dates, whereas last month shows me from 1st of May to 30th May, whereas June period it might consider as only 1st of June to 17th June. It might not be relative comparison. That's the reason we provided both the options to relatively compare 30 days to 30 days. And then by month also, for example, some of them would see how each month is performing. Even though if it is 17th, I might want to check how I was in the last 30 days compared to these 17 days. So that way we added these 4 filter options. I can just change to last 7 days. You would see the metrics gets changed to different ones. So that's how you would see. And then by clicking on this drop box, like for example, a particular service would show get to the detailed page of that particular service. So you would see the detailed page for that service, and then shows me that metric which was there for that particular service. So whereas the service view would show up only the top, if I want to see a particular service, how each of these metrics are performing, I would be able to drill down to that and then see. And then also you would be able to see the related tickets and related projects associated to that. So related tickets would show me that list of tickets which are associated for that particular service there. So the filtered month probably is filtering based on that particular month, but you would see here, you would see all the tickets which were associated to that service. You might see 42 tickets which might be created from past month or last 2 to 3 months. So that way you would see, for example, if I go to that service view and then filter it out for the last 90 days, you would see a different metric altogether for that particular service. So you would see more number of tickets created for that service there. So and on clicking on this, number of incidents there would show me that list of incidents which were created and have the link as the service associated, and then what are their current states, with whom is the assignment, who is working on that, when was the last update happened to that, and then who is the requester, organization, and other details, and also response status of the SLA you would be able to see for that particular service there. So and also we have an option to create new service, and from the new service option, so where you will be able to create new service here, and also on the total active services, if I list these active services, it would be list me all the services along with these metrics, which are 6 metrics, and then you can see at one point of time all the metrics for all the services which are there, not restricting to top performer or top performance, either warning wise or the normal wise to the metrics there. So that way you would see them listed out, all the services with all the information related to each of the service, how they are performing in the organization. So this is the recent service update. If I go and create a new service, a new ticket for that, so let me show you. I just created a new email provisioning. Let me go and create a ticket center. I just go and create new ticket. With that, you will see that in that list. So to create the tickets faster, I would use the Scratchpad. I'll just put my name. So detail, this is a test ticket to check the service update section just to see that. I'll put affected service. I've recently created my email provisioning. So I would see the email provisioning there. So and then I'll just make it open so that it will be available there. So I just created a scratch pad ticket and then associated the email provisioning as a service. I would go back to the service view and then refresh this particular one. So this section would show up the new ticket which got created in the backend. So let me switch, and this is the highest trending by services. So this is like similar to the top tile where you have the highest number of or lowest number of incidents. The only difference here is like in this section of tile we would show the top basically based on the number count of that particular number of incidents created for that time period. But over here we would see that top is different. Top is email. Even though 9 incidents created, or even if it is 10 incidents created here, that's not got into the top here because the compared to the last time or last period, so the variation of tickets were different. So we would filter based on the variation so that you would mainly concern more about the, in case if the ticket is increasing based on from that particular period to last period to new period. So you would see in case if there are more tickets created in that period, so you would see trend in the service. Probably it might be going down or it might be having some critical issues. So we need to get to that particular service and then get your observation for that. So that's the reason what we did here is to not just by the count, just but for the variation to provide more specific information on how each of these services are performing in the organization. Any questions till now? I can switch back to the deck. And Sharath to talk about the advanced reporting. Sharath, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prasanna, looks like there is a question in chat which you can answer in the meanwhile.
Sure.
So getting started with advanced reporting, I mean, we haven't done much in Bamboo with respect to advanced reporting. Just a few minor enhancements and fixing of a lot of customer defects currently we have. So primarily we're working on the stability of Jasper. We use Jasper technology for advanced reporting, and so we were working on improving the stability of the overall advanced reporting system. And we have created, I mean, as you know, with Bamboo, we have already presented Project Center. We've introduced project management, and hence, like for creating reports around your project management, we have enhanced the data sets. We've actually provided 4 project management data sets in the usual data set section when you're creating your ad hoc view. And we've also introduced some long pending calculated fields. So there were a lot of customers who have been requesting for calculated fields with respect to ticket, which are basically the ticket aging or those sort of total pending time, first resolution time, those sort of calculated fields. And in addition to that, there's another common problem today for using the ad hoc views. I mean, creating your own data sets or using the existing data sets, which is basically there are not good data definitions for each of the fields mentioned there. So it's always not easy for customers to understand each of the fields. So we've actually added data dictionary or documentation for existing and new data sets. So you can see the definition of the each and every data field in the data sets. And in addition to that, another important thing which we have done is there are a lot of custom attributes most of the customers create for both tickets and CIs. So what we have done is we have created an easy way. Those custom fields are actually used for more for reporting than the normal fields in most cases, and hence there was a request from customers to add a mechanism to sync custom attributes or custom ticket attributes or CI attributes. So we have actually created a simplified approach in advanced reporting to sync the custom attributes. And another thing is like with customers using a lot of ad hoc view, creating a lot of ad hoc reports, the common mechanism is like the reports keep increasing, and there's a lot of clutter in your system which you want to remove. So far we didn't have a delete mechanism for the ad hoc reports. So we've introduced a delete report for ad hoc views. All the ad hoc reports and dashboards you create as a customer. And in addition to that, we've also upgraded the recent versions of Jasper from 5.5 to 5.6.1. What this actually gives as a capability is to actually integrate reports within the HTML, and there is a new mechanism of using JavaScript, visualize.js, for integrating within your regular workspaces. So this actually is to provide us additional capabilities to integrate reporting as a mechanism within the workspaces in future for some of the other requirements. And also, like for UTF-8 encoding support, this is another important customer defect which has been raised for some of the non-English languages, and so we have actually added UTF-8 encoding support, and we also fixed a bunch of customer defects. Moving on to the next one, basically to give you the details, like I'll talk more when I show it, but we have a lot of custom fields, as I said, like for tickets and CIs, which are generally used for reporting. And right now we have actually, you can see all your custom fields, and you can actually select up to 50 fields only. Right now we have put a restriction or a guardrail on the number of fields that can be used for reporting. Typically you keep changing your 50 fields, right? We don't expect you to report on more than 50 fields at once. So whenever you are using the custom attributes, you report on the 50 fields you want to use, and then switch again with the rest of the fields when you want to use different fields for reporting. So you have an option to select and deselect what fields you want to use, and per customer the limitation is 50 fields. And yeah, this feature is only available in the standard domain. I'll show that to you. As a quick walkthrough, as I said, like we have added ITPM datasets, which are basically project management datasets. For you can actually create your reports on all the projects you have created, or the tasks, and the time or cost against the projects, and all those reports. And there is a detailed documentation available. And in addition to that, some of the data dictionary enhancements is what we have done this release. And these are the 6 calculated fields we have added in Bamboo. Ticket age, this is a standard field which most of the customers use. And the definitions are pretty intuitive. They're common definitions used by everyone. And first closure time, last closure time, first resolution time, last resolution time, and total pending time. These are the 6 fields we have added, which are the most commonly used fields, which users or the reporting admins have to create it all the time if they want to create, and they're not sure of what fields to pick up. So we've created them out of the box. Let me switch back to the demo. Yeah, as you can see,
while you're switching.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, go ahead. There was a question on Q&A. If you want to cover that, you can cover that.
No, I didn't see that question. Can you? Okay, cover this and then we'll talk about the question.
Sure. Yeah. So in the advanced reporting workspace, as you go in the actions, you can see custom fields, and once you click on that, you get sync custom. Just a second. And right, it will show you all the custom fields you have in page wise. You can see all the custom fields you have, and you can select any number of custom fields. I mean, right now I've selected some 20 fields, and all you need to do is just say sync, and they start showing up in your datasets. You just open that. So as you know, like this is the common mechanism of choosing your data. Click on items, create ad hoc view, and you get to this screen, which is the data chooser. So this is your out of the box data set. Let me click on choose data.
One question came up, Sharat, on this one. Like if I have now today around 40 fields, and then later tomorrow I would need to add another 20 more. So out of now it became 60, but I don't want some of the earlier selected fields from that 40. So can I go and remove them and then make this new 50 ones?
Yeah, you always go back to the custom field section. As I said, like you can go back to this custom field selection, select something, deselect something. And for example, I've deselected asset connected ports. Now I've selected asset ports, and I can say sync. So it will just reflect the changes. You can always keep shuffling between your fields. Only thing is the restriction is 50 fields, but you can choose any 50 fields and any number of times by selecting and deselecting the fields.
Okay. So there is one more question related to that on the project task report. So there are any fields, how to add fields to your project or task report?
Yeah, I'll walk you through that actually once I'm done with custom attributes. So as I said, like within assets as well, you can see a custom attribute section. So whatever attributes you have selected as part of asset, those will be shown here. And similarly for tickets, all the custom fields you have selected with respect to ticket will be shown in custom attributes here. Like these are the ticket related custom attributes I have selected. Similarly for CI, configuration items, you can see the custom attributes as a custom attribute section, and you can choose the custom attributes from within this custom attributes of CI. And as I said, the other calculate fields from the ticket part, these are the 6 calculated fields which are introduced. So now you can actually directly use them out of the box. Just pick a ticket age and it will be calculated based on the formula which I've provided, and same with the rest of the calculated fields. So regarding the question on the project, these are the 4 data sets which are created with respect to project task. You can see what are the number of tasks. I mean, it's pretty intuitive. I mean, task ID, task name, I mean, the basic whatever we have ensured the names are very similar to what you use in the workspace. Whatever in the project workspace you see as names, the same are used here. So you can pick those fields and start creating reports. And if you refer to the wiki, we have also given some sample reports you could create. I mean, possibly just as an example to give you some thoughts. And you can use those as the sample reports for creating. And these are the data sets. So all the tasks are within the project task data set, all the task related fields. All the overall the at project level properties, there are a bunch of attributes with respect to a project, and those are given under project. And project is associated to tickets and CIs. So if you want to see like what project is associated to what ticket or what CI, you can use this data set to select the fields and create a report on, like, of course they are shown in the individual project section, but if you want to see at an organization level how are the projects assigned to each of the tickets and all that, you can create a report. And another important aspect is generally project time entry. We haven't given an elaborative mechanism around time entry, but even right now time tracking is calculated per project level and per task level. So you can use this project time entry data set for creating your reports around what was the time logged against a particular project, against the tasks, against the tickets associated to the project and all that. I mean, tickets which are associated to tasks, all that you can see a detailed split how and what was the time logged, and thereby you can calculate cost if you have a mechanism of costing per hour sort of thing. And in general, we have right now we have not introduced a detailed mechanism on cost, but there are a couple of fields within project where you can enter manually project actual cost and planned cost, and you can start reporting your actual cost versus planned cost at an organization level, see which projects are increasing or exceeding and those sort of things. So these are the data sets. These are the 4 additional data sets we have added in Bamboo with respect to project when we have introduced project management, and these are the custom attributes. And going back to the demo, going back to the presentation. Any more questions?
No, Sharath.
Okay. And as I said, like you could delete report. I mean, I think yeah. Let me just. You can just delete report for all the ad hoc views you have created. I just forgot to show it. Just a second. So for the for example, you can just say delete ad. So that option is only for the custom reports you have created. For the out of the box, for example, this is an out of the box report, which is automation workflow executions overview. You can't create the default or the out of the box reports which come, but you can create the ad hoc views you have created by clicking on this delete report option. So out of the box content cannot be deleted. Any content which is created by your own reporting admin can be deleted. I mean, and obviously only users who have access to delete can perform delete operation. When I say access to delete, any reporting admin who actually creates the reports, typically it's an admin, right? Not accessible for all analysts. For any analyst, I mean, all the related required roles and permissions are also documented in the wiki. For more details on who can delete what, you can refer to the wiki. And there are few other issues addressed. I mean, I'll not go into the detail of each and every issue addressed, but these are issues, various issues reported by different customers. So we have actually fixed all these issues with respect to advanced reporting. So given we are almost done with the demo and the overall agenda, any questions? We'll wait for the next 5 minutes for any questions and wrap up.
Yeah, all this information on the webcast, the recording of these things are available in the wiki, community wiki, and also in the community site, and also in the YouTube user educate. You have this series would be available as YouTube files or YouTube videos. One more question, Sharath, related to the reporting.
Yeah, I just saw it. I mean, so yeah, you can add. However, those fields need to be related. In this case, yes, project and total task total time spent are related, so they can be added. But there could be some fields which are not related, so adding them wouldn't give you much details. But yes, they can be added from different data sets into the same report, but there should be some sort of relationship between those fields. For example, project name and total task time spent are related, and they can be added for reporting.
We'll wait for another 2-3 minutes in the call. Any questions, we would be able to answer them. And thanks for your time for joining this webcast series. I think we have one more coming up in July, which would cover the next release or the maintenance release MR1 updates, what we are coming up with MR1. We will be talking more on that in the next webcast.
We will announce it on the community as well regarding the next schedule. We have given a break for the weekly webcast series due to the Independence Day of US. There might be people going on holidays and not much attendance. So we have actually given a break of 2 weeks, and there will be 3 more webcasts in this series. There will be a deep dive on advanced reporting. Once the MR1 deep dive webcast is done, we will have 2 more deep dive advanced reporting webcasts, given there's been a lot of requests on advanced reporting, which will be done by Daniel Sasajima from pre-sales, who is our reporting expert.
So thanks for your time. Thanks for the recording. I would stop the recording, but I would continue the next for another 2-3 minutes, so that in any questions would be able to answer them.